I used to always think that 30 was this huge number, and we're here. So yeah, today is my 30th birthday, and it's complicated. On one hand, yeah, it's just another day. I woke up this morning and I was 30. Yesterday I was 29, today I'm 30. There's a lot of weight to that number because it's kind of the first decade of your like mature adulthood, it kind of feels like. But it's definitely made me kind of want to reflect on my 20s and what that was for me and how unexpected it kind of was. So my early 20s, I was finishing up college. I was in college for a media production program, and obviously that worked out pretty well. My last couple of years in college were kind of just awesome. I don't know if I would call them like the best years of my life or anything, but they were definitely up there. Had a ton of cool friends. I had awesome classes that I was taking at the time. And I just felt like really like in the space, I think was probably the most exciting thing about it. My last semester, I was able to make a short film. It was called God Only Knows. And just like the writing of that, the making of that, the showing it to people, I think was just like the most excited feeling that I've ever had in my entire life. Like just the process of making stuff like that just really is like what drives me. And that's how I knew that I wanted to be like a filmmaker. I wanted to make content. I wanted to make things for people to watch and to see and to enjoy. And then I graduated and I had all these big ideas for what I wanted to do. I wanted to make movies. I wanted to make a production studio and make all these kinds of things. And I didn't. I mean, at the time, I was working on stuff. I wrote an entire feature-length movie that I don't think will probably ever see the light of day, which is kind of a bummer, but I guess I did that. That's pretty cool. Of course, being out of college, you have to sort of become more self-sufficient, and I had to pay for rent when I was living here with my mom, and I had to get a full-time job. My first full-time job out of college was I was working at this place where I was basically watching television for a living, which kind of sounds cool, but really it's fucking soul-sucking. I met a lot of really cool people there, and I met also a lot of really not cool people there. I basically had shitty hours the entire time, and I couldn't quite get on a great schedule, and I was working evenings for the most part. And that kind of schedule just doesn't really line up. I mean, it was nice sometimes to have sort of mornings to work on stuff, but it honestly rarely worked out that way. And then when I found my current job, it's a lot more creative, which is a little bit more fulfilling, but then I don't really have the time or the bandwidth to make projects that I really want to work on. And then when I was doing all of this as well, obviously I was in the dating scene. And that was almost nearly impossible, especially with the first job. When working evenings, I couldn't quite line up with anybody. So moving over to the new job made things a little bit easier. Then you're meeting all these people and you're trying to make things work out, but you just don't connect with anybody seriously. And then the COVID pandemic happened, and that made things really freaking worse. And then you just have to hope that things happen, they work out. And I was really fucking lucky that things worked out. I met an amazing person, my fiance Kira, and then you just know. I mean, it's not like you take a course on it or anything. You just have the feeling like, oh, this is like the right person for me. And it's awesome. But sometimes it just doesn't happen for anybody. And that's crazy. I thought for sure it wasn't going to happen for me. I mean, just like failure after failure after failure. When you're dating people on these apps and you're having these like nothing conversations. Oh, it was awful. That's how I knew Kira was great, because we just like connected immediately over like text. And dating Kira was the easiest thing that I could possibly ever do. Honestly, we just vibe super well. Knock on wood. We still haven't had like a major fight. We just communicate. We just talk with each other and we figure out misunderstandings. And turns out that if you're good at doing that, you can just have a steady, healthy relationship. And Kira's been my rock for a really long time. I went through a lot of loss in my 20s. My grandfather passed away in late 2020. My stepdad passed away in 2021, who my mom barely just started dating. He had a fight with cancer and he passed away. And then I can't believe it, but a couple years after that, my mom passed away. And that was probably that is the hardest time I've ever had to live through. It still isn't great. I can't believe it. It will be a year in a couple of weeks. And that's still stuff that I'm still processing. I still don't quite know how to feel about it. I mean, I know how to feel about it. It feels fucking awful. It's bad. I turned 29 and then adulthood just hit me like that. I mean, obviously I was an adult before that, but just the amount of responsibilities that I had to take on. We had to take care of her car. We had to take care of the house that she was living in, that she owned. We had to take care of the house that I'm living in now because she owned it. We had to find a place for Cookie. If you're familiar at all with any of my content, you'll know Cookie. Cookie's oh my God, she's going to be 17 in a couple of months. Your old cat. Don't worry, she's okay. She's living with my future sister-in-law. But it was tough. I mean, you're going through all of these emotions and you don't quite know what to do with them. And I'm not a person that outwardly expresses a lot of emotion. I mean, just the day that I found out and the week of, I mean, I was destroyed. I was just a completely destroyed person. Now, it's hard. I still don't know how to navigate it. I don't know how to communicate about it. Losses, it's really hard. And I'm so thankful that I have so many people that I can lean on. I know I don't do it as much as I should, but I have amazing friends. I have my amazing fiance who we got engaged in 2023. We were only dating like a little over a year. And I was like, I know this is happening. Like, this is what's going to happen. We're going to get married. And I'm very glad my mom was alive to see that. She knew that her baby boy was getting married. She was very excited about the wedding process, and we're doing a lot for her to celebrate her during the wedding too, which makes me really happy. But yeah, pretty much, your 20s aren't probably going to go the way that you think they're going to go. I mean, my feature film was called So This Is Your 20s, and it's about just like the effect that leaving a place like college, you're out of school, you're done with school, you don't have to do any more homework, and then you're just kind of thrown out into the wild and you're like, okay, I guess let's see what's gonna happen. It's tough. It was tough for me then, and then you just kind of have this idea in your head of like what you want to do outwardly after you graduate college, and it's yeah, you either have to pursue it or you don't, and it kind of takes a back seat and you don't ever kind of realize your dreams. And that's something I had to like kind of process towards the end of my 20s. I mean, as the years kept going on, I was like, it's coming up. Like, you're gonna be turning 30 in a couple years, you're gonna be turning 30 next year, and you're just not hitting these milestones that you think you're going to do. It's one of those things that kind of sat in the back seat of my head for years, and I didn't even like outwardly think about it until, I was just talking to Kira not that long ago about like, this is what I've always told Kira, like what I want to do. I want to make stuff, and I want to have like a production company. I want to, pursue my dreams of, I don't know, being a filmmaker. And I don't know if it's ever going to happen. And I just need to think about that, and I need to process that. I've done a lot of processing about that in the last few months, and I think I'm coming to terms with it a little bit more. Like in the last 10 years or so, my 20s, I have been making content. I mean, I have experimented a lot of ways. I've done Let's Plays, I've done some sketches, I've done some blogs. I kind of stopped with the blogs. I've done podcasts. I did a podcast called Talk Me Into that was probably the most successful thing, but we just ran out of time to do it. We just didn't have the time to do it anymore. So needless to say, I guess just people's 20s, you need to loosen your expectations, I guess. Regardless, I want to take a look at 30. Like I said at the top of this, 30 seemed like a big, scary number, and it's not. It's just another number. It's just one off from the last one that I was at, and that's fine. I'm actually very excited about my 30s. I've come to loosen my expectations a little bit, but I have a lot of things that I have planned that I'm super excited for. One, I'm getting married in the next 4 months, which is insane. I never thought I was going to get married, especially my 20s. I didn't think it was going to happen. And I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited for the wedding, and I think it's going to be great. Another one is just theme park trips. Kira and I really love theme parks. We love going to them. We love roller coasters. We love the theming. We love the aesthetics. We love everything about them. So I'm excited for more theme park trips in my 30s. I'm going to be that cringe fucking millennial. We're also going to buy a house. We are significantly outgrowing the current house that I live in. We just live in a condo. It's nothing to write home about. The next thing I really want to focus on in my 30s is building a community. And I'm not talking about like a virtual community. Like obviously that would be great too, but I just want like an actual community. I've always yearned for that kind of feeling, just like knowing your neighbor and just like hanging out with your neighbors and I don't know, doing like movie nights or whatever, having a group of friends that you can get together with and have fun with. I've never really had that with like a neighborhood before, and I think that would be really swell. I think a goal for me is to work on another big production, kind of like my short film. I don't think I'm ever going to make the feature-length film that I wrote, but maybe I could do some sort of table read to kind of get the words out there, just let people see the work that I put in and kind of feel those feelings of how I'm feeling now about your 20s, you know. Another goal is to write more fiction. I kind of had taken fiction to the back burner because I've been writing more just like review-y kind of things, and I love doing it. It's just getting pen to paper, or I guess just fingers to keyboard. And I definitely want to get more room for my collections because, as you can see, the collection is growing and it's not gonna stop. So yeah, I want to play more video games. I'm excited about the future of video games. The day I'm recording this and my birthday, the Nintendo Switch 2 is rumored to be revealed in 2 days. So I'm very excited about that. My last and big final goal is to not worry about the next decade. It's 10 years. It's a long time. This is my third decade, and I kind of get the rhythm of how these feel now. They're obviously going to feel shorter and shorter as I go through more of them. I just want to live through more of them. That would be pretty fucking cool. But to expect the unexpected, I think that's something I'm looking forward to by the time I turn 40, is to receive things and to give things that I don't expect to. And I think that's going to be very gratifying and very satisfying in life. So yeah, 30 isn't as bad of a number as I thought. All I could hope for is good health, good friends, good partner, and a good life. I love it.